So, like, I just finished watching the season finale of The Penguin, and like, this is gonna be spoilers. This is gonna be spoilers for The Penguin and the Joker, sorta. This is gonna be an unstructured rant mostly, but like, if there are spoilers, if there's gonna be spoilers, there probably are spoilers. Just in case, just letting you know. And you should see both of them. You should see The Penguin as much better if you can. But anyways, unstructured rant. And like, this has nothing to do with the TV show. Like, I'm trying to avoid, detail and plot lines and everything I can about the show, just because I kind of want to leave that for another thing. This unstructured rant is about somebody specific. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, and the reason for this video, is because of the Joker 2 and the Penguin, and how both of these are tragedies. Now, what do I mean by tragedies? Well, like, everything about the Penguin was amazing. Like, right off the bat, the Penguin has been an amazing thing, and like, I wanted to leave it for another video, but it's one of those things where, like, you're like, it's the TV show, it's a spin-off of the movie, but it's more than that. Like, they've accomplished something. Like, I'm gonna be earnest, or like as honest as I can, but like, that this feels like something that's never been done for like other TV shows. It's never been like, it's a spin-off of the movie, but this feels like it's part of the movie, it's part of the world. So like, the 10 episodes, 8 episodes we saw, is it brick by brick has made something amazing about the world, that you're like, man, did I wait to see the Batman, or did I wait 10 episodes to see the Batman, or did I watch the Batman to see the Penguin, kind of thing. It's really amazing. Now, back to it. I don't want to keep adding to that video. Anyways, so all of this is a tragedy. Like, like, you start at the beginning, and you're like, you got some expectations, and then like at the end, like, all those expectations are dashed, and like, you're left with just, disbelief and heartbreak and unbelievable, and like, I can't believe all this happened. How do I go on? How do I make sense of this? And like, that's like, the Penguin did it amazingly. Like, it made it amazingly, because you're like, how do you with all this that is so unbelievable, but how do you go on? And you're like, and the good thing about this is, like, with the Penguin and the Batman, is like, it will go on. You will find more. Something will come of it. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up for the Joker 2 is that it also is a tragedy. Like, the Joker 2 is a tragedy. If you like the first Joker, it feels independent, but like, if you add it with the second Joker, it's all a tragedy. Now, it's all a tragedy because of, and this is why it's unstructured, and this is like, after watching the Penguin, like, this has been rattling in my brain for like the last 3 hours. The Penguin, like, has its tragedy, but like, keeps it going, like, or like, more to elaborate, more to like understand, more to like, more to like, rack your brain over. It's like, oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? What did that mean? And like, it all felt canonical to the comic. Like, it felt, the downside of like being a spin-off or being something separate from the, comic entity, is that you could create your own spin. But this felt like unique and totally different at the same time. Unique and totally central at the same time. Like, because like, watching this, Gotham, Batman, the essentials, Oswald. If you don't know who the Penguin is, then like, you probably never would have known the Penguin. Like, the big villain is the Joker, but like, every other character is interesting in their own way, if you make them interesting, right? So the Penguin, like, if you don't know him, I don't know him, I can't give you a good explanation. I know of him, he's like a small town crook who thinks he's really high and mighty, but like, he's cast low. He's like, he's not big time. He thinks he's big time, but he's not big time. So like, that's my 2 cents of it. And this show gave that. Now, The Joker 2 is a tragedy in the sense that like, it's really informative and really interesting, and like, kind of a lot of shows, especially, but these two shows specifically is like, how do you create a mob? How do you create henchmen? How do you like gain notoriety? How do you get people to follow you? And like Oz did it one way, which is interesting, and like, but the Joker movie like shows you how it could all become accidental, and like the tragedy in the Joker is just tragedy for heartbreak's sake. Well, not heartbreak sense, but like just tragedy for tragedy. Like bad things happen and bad things continue to happen. No explanation. No, like that's kind of what happened in Penguin, but like in the Joker, it was more. Maybe it's because the way the Joker 2 ended in that way, that it's cruel. Like it's more cruel than like, than the tragedy that I'm thinking of. Like uh to throw another spoiler in there, like No Country for Old Men, where like I think Josh Brolin is like, has money, is fighting for the money, like is running away with the money. He's trying to do everything with money, and he's doing like really good things until like, it cuts off screen and you find him and he's like dead, and it's like you can't really make sense of it. There's some like tragedies where like you're like, I, like I'm so speechless. There's nothing I can do. Like there's no redemption, or there's no point to this. Like it doesn't make any sense, right? And like the Joker 2 kind of ended that way. Kind of like ended with like, bad things happen, and that's the way of life, and that's how it is, and like, you know, and then, like in the Joker 2 and the Penguin, they're both based on the leads. I don't know if like it's the Penguin is less of a tragedy because, the Penguin ends the way he ends, but it's still a tragedy. Like so many things happen that like you're like, I can't believe all this happened, and like I guess it's because like the Joker keeps. I mean, the Penguin can keep on going. Maybe the tragedy is he hasn't met his end, or he hasn't learned his lesson, or something. But like, um, but you still like, but both of them are still like, I can't believe these things happen. Like, I guess back to it. Lessons to take away from this. These two shows, this movie and this show, are tragedies. The Penguin was able to like lay down. The Penguin was able to like delve into dark themes, and the Joker did as well. I guess like in the Penguin, it's what could we make of these characters, or what can we figure out about these characters, while in the Joker, since there's the Joker dies, or Arthur Fleck dies, it's more of like, what do we make of the world? But since Arthur Fleck dies, there's nothing we can grab onto. There's nothing like we can who's to focus on. I mean, the world is huge, and the world is huge and cruel. But the Penguin, at least you can like, there's so many characters. There's Sophia, there's the Penguin, there's Vic, there's the mom, there's Eva. There's so many characters you can pick and choose to identify and, you know, analyze. But I guess my end statement is that like the Penguin wants you to analyze its character, but also be, committed to the lore of the Batman, and it also wants you to continue watching. It wants you to continue analyzing. It wants to continue like focusing on the world. Continue like, I mean, the best part about the Penguin is that, like, the world was amazing. The Joker doesn't want you to continue with anything else. The Joker doesn't want to continue, focusing on the world. Doesn't want you to focus on the characters. There's no other characters, and they're all. I mean, I don't know about worth the time, but like, are they worth the time? I hope this similarity makes sense. And another spoiler for Devilman Crybaby, but Crybaby had like some of the like worst things happen, but then the world ends, and there's not really anything you can do about it. I don't know if there's a lot of TV shows or movies like that, but the Joker is. It's kind of like, well, he's dead. There's nothing you could do about it.